Otherwise, we can't open the show, and we're dark for a whole 2 weekends. We'll lose everything. All the publicity's out. He said, okay, I'll see what I can do. So he showed up at 6 o'clock, and his people worked all night. They finished at 5 a.m. Rewired everything. You know, steel tubing with the wires, and the whole thing, new panel, everything done. Oh, Stevie, keep on keeping on. Don't worry about it. No charge. Called Art Greenbaum, GPI Construction. The kitchen floor, he said, I guess I got a couple of guys. I'll call Joe Fortier. They showed up with 5 guys, with 2x4s and everything, and metal shims. They went and shimmed the whole floor in there and put 2x4s and braced the entire thing from underneath. Don't worry about it, no charge. They probably finished, I stayed the whole night. They finished about 3:30 in the morning, like that. I went to code 3 after Donnie arrived, just in time before he closed, and I said, this little fire extinguisher, Dave Emery, etc. He said, okay, here's 5 of them, just take them. Pay when you can. And I was like, okay, wow, that's just great. So now I got the things there, but the sprinkler system, I called up Alan Washburn. And I said, Alan. Now, Alan Washburn ran Southern Vermont Sprinkler, and he was a dear friend of mine. And one of the reasons was that Gay Fenning was his secretary. Now, back in 1977, when I was on the farm and starving on $2,500 a year, I ran into Ann Watt, and she led me to Bruce Cole, and they said, write a grant to bring arts into the mountain schools. From Jamaica and Wordsboro and Wyndham and Wynn Hall and all of that. And I did, and I got the grant. The superintendent of schools was David Morris, and his secretary was Gay Fenning. And I always, Guildensterns learned, it doesn't matter about the principal. You take care of the custodian, you take care of the secretaries, you make sure that they have I found out what kind of chocolate she liked. We would stay sometimes a little late. I'd bring in a bottle of wine. Gay Fenning and I, we were famous friends. Now she is the secretary for Alan Washburn. That must have been part of it. Because Alan came in and he looked and he said, boy, this, including the basement. I said, how much? He said, $13,000. He said, I can't get to it till probably Christmas. I said, all right, how about Thanksgiving? He said, I'll try. Well, the guy from the fire department showed up, and he stood there for the whole first night. We paid him $250. He came up to me and he said, that was the most wonderful show I've ever seen. I'm going to bring my kids and my wife tomorrow. I should be paying you. I'm guilty. I'm guilty as sin. I mean, you're paying me $250, and I'm enjoying the show. This is not fair. And I said, that's the law. And he said, I guess it's the law. So he brought his family, and then a couple of his kids started studying with me, and all this stuff had happened. Right. And we closed, and we packed up everything, and I'm there cleaning up on the next Tuesday, and the door gets knocked upon. I locked it at the street door in the old Chinese restaurant, and there's a truck parked out front. Part of the wheels are on the curb, and there's these 4 guys, and they're unloading 10-foot steel pipes out of the back of the truck. And they say, excuse me, and I said, they're just walking right by me, and they're dumping the stuff on the floor, on the parquet floor. You know? It's not a parquet floor, is it? Help me, Petey. It's the floor. It's a terrazzo floor. Terrazzo. Thank you very much. I knew you knew. They're dumping the steel pipe on the terrazzo floor. Makes a hell of a racket, right, Gene? Yeah. Okay, so I stopped them and I said, "What is this?" They said, "Alan Washburn sent us." I said, "Alan, what?" But I said, he said Thanksgiving, and I have no money. They said, "Will you take that up with Alan?" He said we were off a job and we didn't have another job for a couple of days, so he sent us here to put in your sprinkler system. I said, "Now?" They said, "Yeah, where?" I said, "But," and they said, "No, he told us to get it done by tomorrow." So they rolled into it, and I'm like watching them do it, and they completely did the whole thing. perfect. And I'm like, wow. And then Alan comes in, and I said, Alan, I told you I'd have to fundraise for this. I have no $13,000. I don't have $6,000. He said, I'll pay it when it can. He handed me the bill. I looked at it, and it said $3,000. I said, Alan, what happened to the other 10? He said, happy birthday. Keep on keeping on. And then the next thing I knew, Justin Morris, who was staying downtown with his aunt, calls me up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Why are you bothering me? He said, Dad. He didn't say Dad. He said, Uncle Stevie, I'm downtown. Yeah, what? The Wilder building's on fire. It's on fire. I said, what? Yes, there's trucks are all everywhere. There's police cars, there's ribbons, there's water all over the street. Woo, woo. I could hear the sirens in the back. I said, where are you? He said, I'm in the building. I said, what? You're in the building? He said, yeah, I'm in the lobby on the payphone. I said, is there any smoke? He said, yeah, there's a bit of smoke, but they're gunning with these big hook and ladders. They're just nailed. The water's coming down the stairs that goes between, and it's coming right through my feet and through the lobby. It's going all across the terrazzo floor. And I said, oh my God, but there's not much smoke yet. And he said, no, not well. There's a bit. I said, look, get out of there. Get out of there. No, I said, don't get out of there yet. Run back and hang a curtain between the theater and the dressing room so that our costumes don't get ruined because we were doing the Music Man. And then get the hell out of there. He did. He hung a curtain. It's saved. And then I went out to Wayne Emery the next day, and it was Saturday morning. The fire was on Friday, and I said, Wayne, we've got a whole rehearsal. It's one of our dress rehearsals before we open on Thursday. He said, I'm sorry. I said, but it's tomorrow, it's Sunday. Nobody's going to be. He said, that's right, you're not going to be here, it's Sunday. Besides, everything is roped off. You know, there's no access anywhere. Trucks are here. I said, look, no, you don't understand. I will telephone every one of the parents. I'll telephone Ibby and Hop if they had been there at that time. You know, you should have been there. You should have been there. And I will tell them all that I'll meet them at the door of the Latches Grill. And I will take them down the back stairs, through the brewery, and through the catacombs, and up the back staircase into the Chinese restaurant dressing room. You'll never know we're there. He said, no. He said, can you do that? I said, sure, I can do that, of course. He said, all right, but if I see any children, that's exactly what we did. They all came through the catacombs. They went right through the brewery. They got high on the beer. It was a great rehearsal. and then we're, at a certain point, we took a break. And I went out and looked through the glass window, which is now, I think, where VPR does its thing, but our little lobby, and I looked out at the street, and over there was a photographer from the Reformer. And I went, a camera. And I unlocked the door, and I walked over to Wayne Emery, and I said, Dave Emery, and I said, Dave. He said, yes. It's a little bird. Psst. What? Opportunity. Psst. What? Camera. Reformer. He said, what? I said, just give me 130 seconds. I will get the entire cast in full costume out in front of, under the marquee New England Youth Theater. He'll come. I'll get him to take a picture. We'll get front page, full color. He said, Stevie, I don't know. I don't know. I said, just. He said, you can't do that in a minute and 30 seconds. I said, of course I can. He said, I gotta see this. Okay, go and see if he'll, immediately the guy said, are you kidding? I'm all there. I said, get right there on your knees, right there. We will be here. When I come out and go like that, you get ready, and within 130 seconds, they'll come out, they'll be in place, ta-da, and they'll disappear, boom, door locked. You'll never know they were there. I went back and I said, cast, everybody come in. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get front page. Okay? Everybody get into your places. That's right, Music Man right here. Okay, everybody like that. Pick a little ladies. Okay, the whole thing. And I said, now come on out. You got 130 seconds. You can do it probably 110. When I yell go, you're gonna come through that door. Don't push anybody. You guys are first, you're second, you're third, and you're last, and then you fan out, go into your pose, and then the same way, you guys in the back, you go through first like that, like a wave. Okay, you ready? Go out. Hey, Dave. Good. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. Bang. Done. Front page. The whole front page in color. NUIT does the Music Man. We sold the entire 2 weekends out in 2 days. And that's my story for the first half, and I'm sticking to it. Go get some refreshments. Some of those stories, all the stuff that goes on, starting in the theater.
You mean Stephen and Paul? That's what it was. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, the other one.
What are you?